Good evening and welcome to the Paranormal Lens. My name is Chad Thomas. That's Kirstin Truccano, and that is not Jamie Widener.
What?
Nope.
That is Alex Thomas. Welcome to the show, Alex.
Thank
Um,
you.
Jamie reached out. He's on vacation today and was hoping that he would make it back in time, but he did not. And Alex is filling in for me next week. So I'm like, oh, why don't you jump on and help us tonight? And here he is.
Here I am.
So, so guys, how was your week? How are things going?
I'm tired. No,
Yep.
it's been a good week. It's just been crazy, busy, work stuff with Cassie. So, getting ready to also go on a vacation. So it's been a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've also been very busy. I'm going camping this weekend, so getting all that plans prepped.
Do you have your
Very
ghost?
busy day.
You have your ghost stories for around the campfire, Alex?
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
obviously.
sweet.
All right, well, good. So you're gonna experience some ghost stuff, huh?
let's not.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Go stuff.
regular camping trip.
so well, I hope you have a good time. Hope you enjoy yourself. Hope the weather holds out for you.
Me too.
So,
It's okay, Alex. I'll do ghost stuff this weekend. So
Okay, good.
yeah.
so, so I'm guessing, Alex, that you're going to be in the woods, right?
I will be in the woods.
So, our the story tonight, since it's we'll just jump right into it. Our story tonight is about something that happened in the Ozark Mountains. Which beautiful, beautiful area. I'm going to be the first one to say it, but I think we should do a road trip there because it's just
Yes.
gorgeous.
Yes.
But I'm going to talk about the Crescent Hotel tonight. Are either of you familiar with it at all?
I've heard of it.
Okay. Well, there's a lot to it, um, and some interesting stories of things that happened there. So let's jump into it. We're going to peel back the layers on one of the most historic and reportedly haunted landmarks in the Ozark Mountains, the Crescent Hotel, known affectionately as the Grand Old Lady of the Ozarks. Nestled high above the picturesque town of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, the story begins long before the hotel itself was ever built. The region's natural springs were known to Native American tribes who believed the waters possessed the healing properties. As settlers moved into the area, word of the restorative properties. Hold on, I forgot to put up the slides.
I was about to ask.
So, um, so where was I now? As settlers moved into the area, word of these restorative springs spread quickly, attracting visitors seeking health, relaxation, and renewal. Before long, a small community began to shape among the lush forests and rugged cliffs of the Ozarks. By 1879, that community had become the town of Eureka Springs, known as a place of solace and rejuvenation. The town grew at a remarkable pace. By 1880, records indicated that approximately 2,000 structures had been built and that more than 15,000 people either lived in or regularly flocked to the area. Recognizing the region's tremendous potential, Arkansas Governor Powell Clayton became one of Eureka Springs' strongest advocates. Working alongside the Eureka Springs Improvement Company, he helped secure a major transportation link to the growing resort town. In 1882, a railroad spur from Seligman, Missouri connected Eureka Springs to the expanding rail network, making travel to the area far more accessible. The arrival of the railroad transformed Eureka Springs almost overnight. Its reputation as a healing retreat spread across the country, and the visitors began arriving in ever increasing numbers. Seeing an opportunity to capitalize on the town's popularity, the Eureka Springs Improvement Company realized that a grand hotel was needed, one that could accommodate affluent travelers while showcasing the area's natural beauty. In 1884, a site atop Crescent Mountain was selected for what would become one of the most iconic buildings in Arkansas. The vision was ambitious: create an opulent resort that blended luxury with breathtaking views of the surrounding Ozarks. Just 2 years later, in 1886, What's up, Kirsten?
I must say, Chad, uh, your sound went weird for a moment.
Is it back? Is it better?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you're
good
back.
now.
Okay. While we're paused, we'll say hello to Bert.
Hi, Bert.
All right, Bert.
So, the magnificent structure was considered an architectural masterpiece of its era. Built with meticulous craftsmanship and remarkable attention to detail, the hotel immediately established itself as a premier destination for wealthy travelers and social elites. Its grand design, sweeping verandas, and commanding mountaintop location offered guests an experience unlike anything else in the region. The Crescent quickly attracted prominent figures of the day, including renowned statesman and former Secretary of State James G. Blaine, as well as the famous orator and politician William Jennings Bryan. Their visits only enhanced the hotel's growing reputation. For the next 15 years, the Eureka Springs Improvement Company successfully marketed the Crescent Hotel as a luxurious escape from everyday life. Guests were drawn by the breathtaking scenery, elegant accommodations, lavish ballrooms, exquisite dining rooms, and exceptional service. The hotel became a social hub where the wealthy and influential gathered to relax, socialize, and enjoy the healing atmosphere that had made Eureka Springs famous. By the turn of the century, the Crescent Hotel had firmly established itself as one of the premier resort destinations in the American South, a place where luxury, prestige, and natural beauty came together high above the Ozark Mountains. In 1905, management of the Crescent Hotel was taken over by the Frisco Railroad Company. Historical accounts differ on whether the company leased the property or purchased it outright, but its objective was clear: attract more passengers by promoting Eureka Springs and the famous healing waters. While the hotel remained a popular summer destination, it faced a significant challenge. Tourism in the Ozarks was highly seasonal, and the long off-season made it difficult to keep the property profitable year-round. To solve the problem, a new arrangement was created in 1908. The Crescent College and Conservatory for Young Women began using the building as a boarding school from September through June. During the summer months, from June through September, the building reverted to its role as a hotel. This dual-purpose arrangement proved successful for several years. However, by 1924, the college was struggling financially and was ultimately forced to close. At the same time, the lease agreement for the Crescent Hotel expired, and the school lacked the resources necessary to purchase the property and continue operations. The building sat in uncertainty until 1930, when a renewed effort was made to establish it as an educational institution. The property reopened as the Crescent Junior College. With a respected faculty and dedicated staff, the school enjoyed a brief resurgence. Unfortunately, the timing could not have been worse. As the Great Depression tightened its grip on the nation, financial pressures became overwhelming. Despite the college's strong academic reputation, it could not survive the economic crisis. At the conclusion of the 1934 school year, Crescent Junior College closed its doors permanently, making the end of the building's chapter as an institution of higher education. For the next several years, the grand old lady of the Ozarks sat vacant, its future uncertain. Then, in 1937, a new and far darker chapter began when a man known as Dr. Norman Baker arrived in Eureka Springs with a promise of hope and healing. Baker purchased the Crescent Hotel and transformed it into the Baker Cancer Curing Hospital. His arrival was welcomed enthusiastically by many in the community. The local Chamber of Commerce, the Bank of Eureka Springs, and the Daily Times Echo all viewed Baker as someone who could help revitalize the town and restore prosperity to the area. Almost immediately, Baker began putting his personal stamp on the property. One of his first decisions was to repaint much of the hotel in shades of lavender and purple, colors that would be closely associated with his operation. The lobby, however, received a dramatically different treatment, decorated in a bold mix of red, yellow, orange, and black. Baker also installed one of his own inventions on the roof, a caleophone. At first glance, it resembled a traditional calliope, but instead of using steam, it operated with compressed air and brass whistles. The result was a loud, attention-grabbing sound that could be heard for miles. And attracting attention is exactly what Baker wanted. He was determined to make sure everybody knew about his hospital. The more people who heard about his treatments, the more patients would arrive at his doors. Now, Baker was already a controversial figure. Prior to coming to Eureka Springs, one of his medical ventures had been shut down after he publicly attacked the American Medical Association. Critics within the medical community labeled him as a quack, a fraud, and a charlatan, arguing that his supposed cancer cures lacked scientific evidence and failed to produce meaningful results. Undeterred, Baker eventually relocated to Arkansas and launched his new enterprise inside the Crescent Hotel. Many people were willing to believe in his promises, especially those suffering from illnesses that conventional medicine of the time struggled to treat. Others were drawn by Eureka Springs' long-standing reputation as a place of healing and rejuvenation. Desperate for answers and willing to try anything, patients began arriving from across the country, unaware that the Crescent Hotel was about to become the center of one of the most infamous medical scandals in American history. Baker's advertising campaign was bold and incredibly persuasive. One of his most famous advertisements carried the headline, "Where Sick Folks Get Well." It claimed that Baker Hospital, perched atop the Ozarks, could cure cancer tumors. The ad proudly described the hospital as being 2,000 feet above sea level and emphasized that treatment was provided without surgery, radium, or x-rays. It even reassured potential patients that every room comes with a connecting bath. To many people in the late 1930s, this sounded like an incredible opportunity. If you or a loved one were suffering from cancer, Baker's promise of a painless cure must have seemed almost miraculous. His sales pitch was simple and effective. Cancer treatments of the era were often crude, painful, and frightening. Radium therapy could leave patients severely burned, disfigured, and weakened. Baker presented himself as a compassionate alternative. Instead of a painful medical process, he offered pain-free treatment in the relaxing setting of a mountain resort. His message was clear. Why endure harsh treatments when you could come to the Crescent Hotel, receive a painless tonic, and recover in comfort? For $500, a substantial sum at the time, patients would receive treatment while staying at what essentially was a spa-like retreat. Now, room and board were charged separately. Baker promised that most patients would be cured within 3 to 6 weeks. If they weren't cancer-free by then, he claimed they could return for an additional treatment free of charge, paying only for transportation, lodging, and meals. Behind the glamorous promises, however, the medical operation was alarmingly primitive. Examinations reportedly consisted of Baker feeling, pinching, and visually inspecting patients. The hospital contained no microscopes and lacked many of the basic tools expected in legitimate cancer treatment. Now, Baker didn't stop with cancer. He also advertised guaranteed cure for hemorrhoids, varicose veins, and numerous other ailments, often using the same handful of injections regardless of the disease being treated. The tragic reality was that the treatments didn't work. Many patients deteriorated and many died. For a time, Baker managed to stay ahead of his critics, but after roughly 2 years of operating in Eureka Springs, he encountered an opponent he hadn't anticipated: the United States Postal Service. After several failed attempts to stop him through other means, federal authorities finally found a way to bring him down. The key evidence was his advertising. Investigators discovered that Baker's cures were little more than injections containing common substances such as clover, corn silk, watermelon seed, and water. Because he used the mail to promote fraudulent medical claims, the government charged him with mail fraud. Norman Baker was convicted and sentenced to 4 years in federal prison at Leavenworth, bringing an end to one of the most notorious medical scams ever associated with Crescent Hotel. At one point, I think I read he had brought in like $1.5 million in a year. But even after Baker's departure, the mysterious surrounding of his operations continued to surface. Over the years, stories emerged about the extraordinary measures Baker allegedly took to protect himself. According to local accounts, his office was lined with bulletproof glass, equipped with a hidden escape tunnel, and stocked with 2 submachine guns kept within easy reach. Whether these precautions were the actions of a man expecting enemies or simply part of the mythology that grew around him, they only added to the legend of the Crescent Hotel. Then, in 2019, a discovery brought renewed attention to Baker's dark chapter in the hotel's history. While working on the grounds, a landscaper uncovered what appeared to be a dump site containing dozens of bottles filled with medical specimens. Testing later confirmed that the preserved remains were human tissue samples believed to be connected to Baker's hospital operation. Today, some of these recovered specimen jars are displayed during the hotel's nightly ghost tours, offering visitors a tangible connection to one of the building's most unsettling periods. Yet the physical evidence is only part of the story. Long after Baker was sent to prison, rumors persisted that the suffering, desperation, and the deaths associated with his hospital left a lasting imprint on the property. Guests, employees, and paranormal investigators have reported unexplained voices, shadow figures, phantom footsteps, and encounters with apparitions believed to be former patients and staff. These stories have helped transform the Crescent Hotel from a historic landmark into what many consider one of the most haunted hotels in America. Today, the Crescent Hotel has been beautifully restored and once again operates as a luxury hotel overlooking the Ozark Mountains. Visitors can stay overnight in historic rooms, dine in the hotel's restaurants, enjoy the scenic grounds, and experience the same breathtaking views that attracted guests more than a century ago. Of course, for many visitors, it's not the history or the scenery that draws them to the Crescent. It's the ghosts. The hotel embraces its haunted reputation with a variety of guided experiences. The most popular is the nightly ghost tour, which takes guests through some of the building's most infamous locations while exploring both documented history and reported paranormal activity. Visitors can view artifacts recovered from Baker's hospital era, hear stories of the hotel's most famous spirits, and visit areas where countless unexplained encounters have been reported. For those seeking a more immersive experience, the hotel offers extended paranormal investigations, giving participants access to locations that are typically off-limits to regular guests. These investigations allow visitors to use ghost hunting equipment and conduct their own exploration of the property's reported hotspots. So what has been found? Here are some of the stories that the Crescent Hotel itself shares. We're going to start with Michael, the stonemason of room 218. The most famous spirit associated with the Crescent Hotel is Michael, an Irish stonemason who reportedly died during the hotel's construction in 1885 and 1886. According to hotel history, Michael was one of the several Irish craftsmen brought to Eureka Springs to work with the limestone used in the hotel's construction. He allegedly fell from the upper portion of the building and landed in the area that later became room 218. Room 218 has become the hotel's most requested room and is often described by the hotel as its most active paranormal location. Over the years, guests have reported hearing loud crashes, doors opening and slamming shut, unexplained touches, voices, and sighting of an apparition believed to be Michael. The hotel classifies Michael as a poltergeist because many reports involve physical interactions with the environment rather than simple visual sightings. One reason Michael's story remains so enduring is that it connects directly to the building's construction. Unlike many ghost legends that appear decades later, his story is rooted in a specific accident said to have occurred while the hotel was being built. Whether visitors believe the haunting or not, Michael has become the symbolic face of the Crescent's paranormal reputation. Next, let's talk about Theodora, the helpful woman of room 419. Theodora is perhaps the hotel's most courteous ghost. Hotel accounts identify her as a former cancer patient from the Norman Baker Hospital era of the late 1930s. Other versions of the story suggest she may have been a nurse, but the hotel's official ghost history describes her as a patient. Guests and staff have reported seeing an elderly woman outside room 419, appearing confused and searching for her room key. Theodora's most unusual characteristic is that she is said to clean up after the guests. Numerous reports describe personal belongings being neatly arranged, clothing folded, and rooms appearing tidier than when the occupants left them. Because of these recurring stories, room 419 is commonly known among the staff and ghost tour guides as Theodora's room. Unlike many alleged spirits associated with fear or aggression, Theodora is generally portrayed as helpful and protective. Her story reflects the Crescent's hospital period and serves as a reminder of the many patients who came seeking treatment during Norman Baker's infamous cancer hospital operation. We're going to move to Brecky, the child with the ball. One of the most emotional stories connected to the hotel is that of Brecky, identified by the Crescent Hotel as a 4-year-old son of Richard and Mary Breckenridge Thompson. Historical records indicate that this child died at the hotel from complications related to appendicitis. Reports place Brecky throughout the building rather than in a single room. Witnesses commonly describe hearing a ball bouncing in empty hallways or seeing a small child playing before disappearing. Other accounts mention childlike laughter and playful interactions that investigators often associate with his presence. What makes Brecky's story stand out is that it is one of the few ghost legends tied to a specifically identified child rather than an anonymous figure from the hotel's past. His reported appearance contributes to the belief that not all of the Crescent spirits are connected to the Baker Hospital era or the hotel's construction. Next, let's talk about Dr. John Freeman Ellis, the hotel physician. John Fremont Ellis served as the Crescent Hotel's physician during its early years as a luxury resort in the late 19th century. Unlike many of the hotel's spectral figures, Ellis was a documented historical person who worked at the property during its original hotel era. His former office is believed to be what is now room 212. Guests and staff have long reported the smell of cherry pipe tobacco in the room and nearby hallways, despite no apparent source. Some visitors claim to have seen a man sitting quietly in the room or standing near the doorway before disappearing. The Ellis legend is particularly interesting because it ties directly to the Crescent's early periods as a Victorian resort. While many stories focus on Norman Baker in the hospital years, Ellis represents a much older chapter of the hotel's history and serves as a reminder that the buildings functioned as a luxury destination long before it became a hospital. Lastly, we're going to talk about Morris, the hotel's beloved cat.
Yes.
And Kirstin, I knew you were going to be happy about this one.
I'm here for the ghost cats.
Ghost cats.
Yes.
Not every famous resident of the Crescent Hotel was human. Morris, an orange tabby cat, served as the hotel's unofficial mascot and was affectionately known as the hotel's general manager. He lived at the hotel for approximately 21 years and became a favorite among guests and employees. After his death, he was buried on the hotel grounds. Stories of Morris continued long after his passing. Guests have reported hearing phantom meows, feeling a cat brush against their legs, or briefly seeing an orange cat in hallways and common areas before it vanishes. Unlike many of the hotel's darker legends, Morris has becoming a comforting part of the Crescent's paranormal history. His story also illustrates how the Crescent's ghost lore extends beyond tragedy. While many reported spirits are linked to deaths, illness, and accidents, Morris represents a beloved companion whose presence remains woven into the identity of the hotel itself. Now, whether you believe these stories are genuine hauntings, the power of suggestion, or simply legends passed down through generations of guests and employees, one thing is certain: these 5 names, Michael, Theodora, Brecky, Dr. Ellis, and Morris have become inseparable from the identity of the Crescent Hotel. Their stories are told nightly on ghost tours, repeated by visitors around the world, and continue to shape the reputation of what many call America's most haunted hotel. And perhaps that's the true mystery of the Crescent Hotel. The building has survived economic collapse, changing ownership, years of abandonment, a controversial cancer hospital, and countless stories of tragedy and triumph. Yet more than 140 years after it first opened its doors, the grand old lady of the Ozarks continues to captivate the imagination of everyone who walks its halls. Whether the visitors come for the history, the architecture, the mountain views, or the possibility of encountering something they cannot explain, the Crescent remains one of America's most fascinating destinations. And if the stories are true, some of the guests may have never checked out at all. So before we discuss, let me give you some sources. The biggest source was actually the hotel website itself, which is https crescent-hotel.com. Then we have www.historichotel.org/us/hotels-crescent-hotel-and-spa. Then we have encyclopediaofarkansas.net /entries/Norman-Baker-4885. Then we have www.newyorker.com/culture/photo-booth/the hauntings-history-of the-huckster-cancer cure. www.semcbay.com/a real-life parable. And I don't have the exact page, but I also got information from Atlas Obscura, one of Jamie's favorites. So, guys, what do you think?
I think it'd be a crazy place to stay.
I mean, I would be 100% down to spend, I think, even more than a night there. I'd love to spend like a few nights there.
Mm-hmm.
I may or may not be going for the cat.
Mm-hmm.
But
Bert said it's 17 and a half hour drive from my house. These road trips are getting longer and longer.
this is why we get the plane.
Alex and I actually drove out to Arkansas a few years ago.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long trip then too.
Yes, it was.
I mean, I'm about to do an 11-hour road trip to Indiana, so just
Yep.
6 more hours, it's fine.
Yep. Bert says we would need a week there.
What about 2 weeks?
You imagine
Okay,
the different
1 month.
Can you,
1 month at the hotel.
can you imagine the sites that we could go visit if we spent like 2 weeks out there?
Absolutely. I think it would. I've never been to Arkansas, so you know what? Yeah, let's do it. 2 weeks.
Let's make a month out of it. It's fine.
It's fine. It's like Alex and I were like, we can spend another week in Japan or a month.
Yep. So,
What a history. Like, it started as a hotel, and I do remember more about the Crescent Hotel from another podcast.
mhm.
Just as soon as you got to Baker, I'm like, oh, him.
Yep.
But yeah, to be a hotel, to turn into a hospital, and then back to a hotel.
I also want to know the layout of where things were when they were different.
Right.
Hmm.
I mean, seeing from the photos and everything, like we're just really seeing it as a hotel, and it looks gorgeous. But I'm like, well, what is, as a hotel, as a hospital, like what changed in there?
From what I don't think a whole lot changed because he wasn't really treating them.
No.
If you think about it, some of the day rooms, like the this isn't like a hotel like we think of today. It's not like, a Marriott where you go in and they have a couple ballrooms
Yeah.
and a lot of guest rooms. This was a place where people went and you know they summered there. Think of like the Dirty Dancing movie. They had shows and they had that you went and you spent time there.
Yeah.
So this would have had dining rooms and ballrooms where they would go hang out and dance, and they would have afternoon teas with music and then nightly party. Like, so there was probably a lot of large rooms that would be his treatment centers, but everybody had their own room and their own bathroom apparently. So
A plus. We need to go because Heather also has never been to Arkansas. So road trip.
yep.
Sounds like
Also-
a road trip.
Because of a stupid meme that I've seen, I struggle with saying Arkansas now.
You must say Arkansas, don't
I
you?
want to say Arkansas so bad.
Arkansas.
So if you ever hear me kind of like stopping for a moment, it's because I'm correcting myself.
Arkansas.
Arkansas, it doesn't seem right.
So I think the other interesting time frame for me was when it was a hotel in the summer and a girls' school in the winter.
Right.
What a clever use of a building when you're not going to have tourism because it's cold and snowy.
Yeah.
It was a finishing school basically. So they were there, they were staying there.
Just, yeah. I feel like, I don't know, being able to go like, yeah, I was in school in a hotel.
Hmm.
I feel like not a lot of people can really say that.
Right.
No.
Honestly, I would be interested if there were any spirits that were linked from the girls' school there, or just residual energy from that.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm sure with this much history, there's residual energy from all those eras, and it may be getting drowned out by some of the other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that the cat is still there.
And speaking,
That won't ever get drowned out. Honestly, I'm surprised Baker is not there. Or so, like,
I don't know. He had a couple other hospital ventures, and I don't know. He's probably being run out of it. So, speaking of the cat, can you believe the cat lived there 21 years?
I'm impressed by
That's
that.
amazing.
Like, I think the oldest cat I've known was like 17 or 18. Like, that's my oldest cat is 17 right now, and I'm like, how are you still looking so young and like doing all these things? But a cat to be 21 is mind blowing to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Bert says if we're going out there, we need to hit multiple stops.
Do you have a list of these stops?
Well,
Road trips.
I mean,
Stops the whole way down.
we could go through, West Virginia, so we could hit, some of those places we've already been. Then Ohio, we've got the Reformatory, we've got some other places there that we've talked about.
I mean, hospital on College Hill.
Yep,
That's kind of in that way. So,
yep.
and we just bring Steve because Steve wants to be there with us.
Oh, so now we got to coordinate another person's vacation in with our time off in with ours. It's going to be
Send him the link to the calendar.
oh my. So yeah, it's an interesting story. I think, again, with all the layers of history and activity, I want to say it's got paranormal activity. And it touts itself as one of the most haunted hotels in the United States. My guess is probably up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
If you're waking up and somebody rearranged your stuff on your nightstand overnight, that would that would be pretty interesting.
yeah.
Heather said, "Don't get him started. He will have a spreadsheet ready for you by the next show."
You know what? I'm not complaining. I want the spreadsheet.
So, and if I'm gonna, uh, if I'll put that up in a second. If I'm gonna go to a hotel that's haunted, I would love to have a hotel or a ghost that cleans up after me.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Oh,
Theodora, like she can come hang out in my room anytime.
it is a. Oh, what hotel is it where it's. Oh, it's the Shanley. Or the
Hmm.
Stanley Hotel. The Stanley, literally the one ghost, well, the one maid, she packs up your suitcase and she puts it nice and neatly outside your room. I like that.
Whether you want to leave or not.
Exactly.
She decides when
Um,
you're done.
I think my only complaint would be is staying at that hotel, waking up to one of the ghosts in my room. I'd have to be like, listen, I'm sorry, I can't entertain you right now. I want sleep.
Hmm. Well, Bert has a solution. He says, find an Airbnb for a week and radiate out from there. And yes, it definitely has to be haunted. So I think we would have to stay one night in
In
that.
the
The
hotel.
hotel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't think my budget could take a week or two there.
I can't imagine what the budget is for that.
So
This is a place though that I feel like it's similar to like how I say like with the Tower of London or Hampton Court. I just want to walk around at first and just be like in an area for at least 10 minutes to kind of feel the energy that's there.
hmm.
Because there's no way that the whole hotel has the same energy feeling. Like there's with the amount of history, it probably is like those waves.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, it's definitely a place that I would love to visit someday.
Oh, I mean, I will put it on the list for road trips, especially with all the ones that are overseas.
So um yeah, any other thoughts on it?
No.
Isn't it interesting though how and then we sort of talked about this the other week, with I think it was one of Jamie's, that this doctor was able to fool so many people into believing that he had a cure that was painless and like
Oh, like it was Mercy Brown, how it was everyone linked right to this was vampire because it was they were
right,
looking for
right,
something. Um, I mean, again, for the time period where,
yep,
especially with cancer, for like the treatments and everything, there really wasn't much knowledge or how to treat it. So for someone to be out there going, "Hey, I got the cure for something as terrible as cancer," I'm not shocked of people jumping on board of going, "Yes, this is going to help me."
right,
Yeah.
I mean, especially with cancer, there's still sometimes today where people will be like, "Hey, you don't have to do this chemo or this radiation. I have this holistic way," and people still follow it.
mm-hmm,
So, yeah, to me, it's not shocking that people were like tricked by him.
right,
Shame on him.
mm-hmm,
I hope wherever his spirit is at now, karma got him well.
yeah, but and I'm not trying to open a political can of worms here, but this same sort of thing happened not too long ago with COVID,
Yeah,
and like you know, people were led to believe that one way or the other, I'm not going to go say which is right, that things are good for you or things aren't bad or aren't good for you. So, it's we're still being we're still being guided by people who don't always have the best answers, I think.
right.
So,
I
this is an interesting thought.
wonder if you walk around and you
Go ahead and read it out loud, Kirsten.
I wonder if you walk around and you can feel the different energies from all the different time periods, like walking from room to room and feeling completely different spirits' energy. That's honestly what I think would be happening. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, say the one ballroom, you're getting the energy from the girls' school, and then you walk into one of the rooms, and it's energies from when it was a hospital, to then another room that has the energy from the first round as a hotel. Like, with the amount of history and everything with this hotel, and I'm fully believe like your energy can stay in a place, and that is what's causing some hauntings, whether or not these hauntings are like intellectual or just residual. Like,
Right.
I that's honestly why I want to just walk around and just spend some time in each room.
Right. Well, we've talked about the stone tape theory before, but this you're
Yes.
talking about a building that is made out of limestone blocks
Yeah.
and how much energy that must be able to absorb. There's not, I don't think there's a lot of water around, but you are in nature. You've got, you're at the top of a mountain. I just think, well, there is water around because it's the springs. What am I saying?
Hmm.
You've got the healing springs that go back to Native American times. So, I think there's so much that points to potential energy. Just, yeah.
And you said that they have stuff from the time periods of when it was a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So that coming out every night for every paranormal investigation will have an impact on things too.
Yeah, I think that's in like a museum area that they walk through. So,
I do like that they have areas that are not open to the general like public that's there.
right.
But if you're doing a private, they're like, yeah, you can go in there. That to me is very interesting because how I'm not, I don't know how many investigations that the Crescent Hotel has in, like, I'll say like a month, but say like they're only getting like one or two investigations a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably very low for them. Um, those areas being so untouched, and all of a sudden there's people in there. There could be spirits or something in there that's like, I want to communicate now. Like, I want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me, I think that to me is very fascinating, and I like that they have that.
Yeah. So, if you had to stay in a room with those spirits that we talked about, which one are you going to want to stay in?
Uh,
Um,
you
what was it?
know, I wouldn't really want the bouncing ball in the middle of the night.
No.
Whoever's not going to wake me up.
What was it? 218 that had the maintenance man. That's like the most requested room.
Uh, I think Heather just said 210.
210. I would want to go into the most active room.
Yeah. So, Heather also said feeling anything from dancing and laughing to sadness and death. I'm sure we would feel all those things there. Yeah.
All sorts of emotions in that place.
So,
The waves, and I mean the amount of places we've gone, I've felt the waves of that where it's like all this happiness and everything, and then straight dread. Hint Crescent
mm-hmm.
in the cathedral, but no. I'm with Bert. It's definitely haunted, but yeah, 210. I may not sleep, but I will get some evidence.
Well, looking at their calendar, it's actually very reasonably priced, for $39.50 for tickets,
That's not
and
bad.
it looks like they do. Well, it varies. One week it's Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The next week it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's like So it seems like they have midnight investigations quite often. So,
And they also do a 10 o'clock investigation, too, if you don't want to stay up that late.
I mean, that's not bad.
is that the Basin Park, Alex?
No, that was the advanced, the expert and expanded ghost tour is at 10 p.m.
Okay. Then there's also there's the Basin Park Hotel must be another part of it or something. Like there's a lot of things to do in the area, so to explore the paranormal.
Including a kids' ghost tour.
Oh, I can take Cassie.
Yep.
She won't know what's going on, but that's fine.
Well, wait till she's 5. It's 5 to 12. So,
Are you sure?
yeah. So yeah, there's definitely plenty to do there. I think definitely road trip.
Road trip.
Road trip.
We just need to do like a. We just need to do a cross country like whole expedition.
Mm-hmm.
Hit so many different places.
Yeah.
So.
And do a podcast every Tuesday. That'll be fine. It'll be great.
Guess who just became the technical director, Alex?
We don't pay Alex enough.
No, I wasn't talking about Alex.
Was it me? I don't know what I'm doing.
So anyway. So yeah, I definitely think it's worth it. We should, I wish we could do a trip. I know it's not going to be anytime in the near future, but it would definitely be worth it. So.
Well, we get the paranormal plane. We just fly out there. And it'll be fine.
Yep.
Bert can start the GoFundMe, and yeah.
So. All right. Well, we're getting close to the top of the hour. That was a fun story for me to look into. I hope you guys learned something. I mean, I had heard bits and pieces about it before, but
yeah, I mean, or like earlier when I was like, yeah, I haven't heard anything really about it. Like I've heard the name, but then as soon as you start talking about it, I'm like, no, I've heard this in a podcast before.
Yeah.
That was specifically about it. So. Good episode.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's talk about what's coming up next.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm taking over for Jamie this week, so he owes me. So next week we're not. Jamie's going to be covering one of my favorite cryptids, the Fresno Nightcrawler, which has been very fun explaining to Alex. Not this Alex, my husband Alex. But explaining to him what these things are and showing him videos, he's absolutely confused. He's like, it just looks like pants.
Mm-hmm.
And then coming up with that, on June 30th, I will be doing Ashmore Estate, some history and experiences, because I'm going to be there this coming Saturday for a nice little investigation.
Yeah.
Doing some ghost stuff.
Doing some ghost stuff. It's going to be super great because I'm staying in Indiana and I have to go over to Illinois. And I had to do the math because of the time changes.
Yeah. I'm also going to Indiana next week, but not to Illinois. So
you're probably going to be closer to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm at the Illinois border.
Bert said he would drive. Catching up on his comments here. Paula said it was really interesting, and that she would definitely spend the night.
So we can rent out all the rooms.
Well, maybe not all the rooms, but
true.
So
yeah, they have package deals.
Ooh.
You get 2 signature ghost mugs.
Cool.
I take a mug.
Anyway, I took us down a
we took a left turn.
So.
Anyway, July 7th, there will be no show. We're kind of taking a week break, reset, get ready for our following up season. Also, Chad's going to be away doing some camp stuff. So it's a nice little, nice time to reset.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be back on July 14th with the Landol's Mohican Castle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's you, Chad.
Yep.
And I said it right?
Yep.
Perfect. Then we'll be back with Jamie on July 21st for the alien abduction of Barney and Betty Hill. Another one I'm excited for because, again, I recently listened to a podcast on it, so
Okay.
kind of fresh in my mind. And then I will be back on July 28th with Ganjeom Psychiatric Hospital in South Korea.
Cool.
Right?
Oh, I put the wrong thing up, didn't I?
This is wrong.
There we go.
I got us, Chad.
We need
All right. If you want to get in contact with us, we have a few different ways you can. One of them is to go to www.jott-nyxparanormal.com. Or you can email us at the podcast with info@paranormal-lens.com. We also have a link tree. If you can look at our store, believe it takes us to our episodes. It's been a while since I looked at our link tree. So, Chad confirmed for me. Thank you. But that you can get to there with, that is linktr.ee/paranormal lens. Or if you want to help support the show at all, you can also go to Buy Me a Coffee. Even if you don't want to, that's completely fine. We're going to be here still, giving the same episodes and everything. But that link is buymeacoffee.com/paranormal9. Or if you're watching, we do have a nice little QR code up on the screen for you to go ahead and scan to get in there too.
Cool.
Wow, Jamie doesn't have to be here, and I don't mess up everything.
Well, he makes you nervous.
Obviously.
So, well, and next week I won't be here, so Alex will be joining us again. So,
Yep, from
So it'll
that
be ghost
podcast
stuff.
studio.
so yes, Alex will be in the Paranormal Lens Lounge next week. So,
And it'll be ghost stuff next week.
It'll be ghost stuff.
so, well, guys, any final thoughts before I wrap us up and get us out of here?
Just great episode.
Yeah.
Cool. So, all right. Well, as the lights go out and the halls of the Crescent Hotel grow quiet, we're left with one final question. Are the stories of its ghosts simply echoes of the past, or are some chapters still being written? Whatever you believe, never stop asking questions and never stop exploring the world around you. From all of us at the Paranormal Lens, thank you for watching tonight. We'll see you next week. And remember, stay alert, stay respectful, and stay curious. Good night, everybody.